What's up, y'all? We're here. We're live. We're lucky to be here. I don't even really know if we're going to have a show. My first guest was supposed to already be logged in, but he hadn't showed up yet. But with all the storms that's been going on, my electricity's been out. My internet's been out. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? So if y'all will just bear with me. If he don't pop on here in a few minutes, I'll try to get the second guest on, and if we can get him on, we'll go with him. If not, be a short show tonight, man. It is what it is. But look, y'all are here. Anybody watching, look, go watch. Go to my YouTube page, Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube. Watch all my content, man. Share it, like it, and most of all, subscribe to the channel. I mean, that's what we need more than anything. Subscribe to the channel. I hope everybody out there is safe. Like I said, we've had some bad weather. Trees down, electrical wires down. A lot of people are still out of electricity. I know a lot of people in Memphis are. A lot of people up here still are. We were out for several hours. It is what it is, I don't know. But look, we're going to talk some wrestling. I'm here. If anybody wants to ask me any questions while we're waiting, because like I said, I almost canceled the show earlier today. This morning, I didn't think we was even going to have a show. Our electricity was out for hours, and my internet, even after electricity come back on, the internet was out. So I didn't even think we'd have a show. We're here. We're going to try. We'll see what happens. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But I'm here. Let's talk some wrestling. Somebody asked me something. Let's get some questions in here. Ask Buster anything. It looks like I'm waiting on a reply from my second guest. Look, we're supposed to have former Bluff City Southern Heavyweight Champion Bullwhip Ballard on here. He's supposed to be our first guest. Maybe he'll pop in a few. I don't know. I guess we'll see. And then Hollyhood, the MIW heavyweight champion, the current MIW heavyweight champion. He was going to round the show out tonight. I just sent him a message to see if he can get on here early. I'm waiting on a reply. I hadn't heard nothing back. I hadn't heard nothing from Bullwhip, but like I said, with the weather, I'm lucky I'm even here. I didn't really think that we would do this show today. But look, I had something brought to my attention a couple of days ago. People feeling unappreciated in the wrestling business. For example, referees, security guards, concession stand people, really just anybody who's not a talent. A lot of times they get overlooked in the wrestling business. It's just the way it is. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. Obviously the wrestlers are the stars, so the wrestlers are it's who everybody caters to. It is what it is. But I mean, what can you say? There's a lot of people out there that I understand how it is to not feel appreciated in the wrestling business. Look, the wrestling business, truthfully, wasn't designed for appreciation. Look, we got our first viewer in here, Jacob Puckett. He says, Hey, Jacob, what's up, dude? Glad you're watching. I hope you're feeling better, man. This is a young dude right here. He's been through a lot lately. Tough young man. I hope you're doing good, Jacob. I'm glad you're watching. Got another comment. This is from On Deck with Titanic. Titanic says, Bullwhip Ballard going to win the AWA heavyweight title from Kilo at Indy Mania August 12th. And, hey, that's something I wanted to talk to Bullwhip about, man. Indy Mania. I seen what happened the last AWA show. I seen that after Kilo just won the belt from Zach O'Brien, the AWA heavyweight title, and boom, Bullwhip Ballard hits the ring on Kilo, lays him out. So Bullwhip's on a tear everywhere. It just is what it is. He's all over the place. I know he works at MIW. He's going to be there Friday night facing Rocker. Should be a hell of a match. Like Titanic said, he's got a match coming up with Kilo at Indy Mania August 12th. And then obviously he's got Bluff City. They're doing a TV taping this Saturday. So I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. All right, Jacob's back. Jacob says he's got a question. Jacob, ask your question, man. That's what we're here for. Ask away, dude. But look, back while we're waiting on Jacob, I just got a reply from Hollyhood. Hollyhood should be popping on here in just a few minutes, hopefully. We'll at least get a good show out tonight. We get Hollyhood on here. I'm dying to talk to him, too. He's a cool-ass dude. Not just a wrestler. He does a lot of other stuff. Does some YouTube stuff and got something called Hood Potion. I really want to know about Hood Potion, but look, back to what I was talking about, feeling unappreciated in the wrestling business. That's just the business, y'all. The wrestling business only appreciates what you can do for it. The people in it only appreciate what you can do for them. When you can't do nothing for them, then you got to go and it's on to the next one. It's sad, but that is the nature of the wrestling business. It is what it is, y'all. This is not a business it's not a business of feelings. Wrestling business does not care about your feelings whatsoever. All right, we got a Jacob pop back on with a question. He says, is T-Pain a bad guy or good guy? Jacob, I'll be honest with you. I guess it's where he's at. Obviously, West Tennessee, he's without a doubt a huge fan favorite. But now I've seen him at EPW and not so much, man. He does some dirty stuff there, and the same thing at CCW, Jacob. So I guess it's a toss-up. I guess if he's up here in West Tennessee, he's a good guy. If not, he could be a good guy or a bad guy. Depends on where it's at. Look, y'all, Hollyhood just popped in. I'm glad he's down in the weight room. Look, this dude right here is the Mississippi Kingpin. He's the current MIW heavyweight wrestling champion. My man, Mr. Hollyhood. Hollyhood.
What's good with y'all?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, feeling good.
Man, I appreciate you popping
Ready
in.
for this big weekend at home. All right, man. There's much love.
I do, man. I really appreciate you popping on in early, man. You know, with the weather, I don't know how the weather is where you are, but up here, man, it's been wicked.
Oh yeah, man. It's right now. It ain't raining right now, but we've been having bad weather this week.
Yeah, man. It's been, like I said at the start of the show, I didn't even know if we'd do a show this morning. This morning when I got up, no electricity. Then when it finally came on, no internet. So there was the internet complete outage up here, but they finally got it on around dinner. So here we are. Like I said, Bullwhip was supposed to come on first. I know you know something about Bullwhip. I'm sure y'all know.
Yeah, I know a lot about. I've been known Bullwhip. I helped train Bullwhip.
Oh, so, no kidding. See?
Yeah.
Well, if he happens to pop on and we're still going, maybe I'll just bring him on with us then. I didn't realize y'all were that familiar with each other, dude.
Oh yeah, that's one of my. He's not my first two. He's up there.
Well, look, Hollyhood. Before we get into you, go ahead.
Yeah, I said when I moved down here in car rent, because he didn't stay too far from it. His granddaddy was still alive. He always wanted to impress his granddaddy to get in the wrestling business. So I'm glad his granddaddy seen him train and have his first couple of matches before he passed away.
Yeah. You know, I just met Bullwhip. Well, you too. Probably, 2 years ago at EIW is the first time we ever crossed paths?
Yeah.
Well, look, man, while we got a few minutes, I just got a message from Bullwhip. He is going to make it. He's just running a little late, dealing with some family stuff. But when he pops on, if you want to, if it's cool with you, I'll just bring him on too, and we'll just all three just talk.
All right, that's fine.
Well, look, while we're waiting on him, man, let's get a couple of these comments out the way. Questions. These are questions you can answer. On Deck with Titanic says, what's your thought on death matches? I'll let you go first, Hollyhood. What's your thought on death matches, man?
Death matches is not of my favorite team. I try to stay away from them. To me, those are people, to me, in my opinion, it's the people who can't work or finish of a storyline. A lot of people like death matches. Me, I can't stand them. I know I watch a lot of Mick Foley and Terry Funk, those were awesome matches and death matches, but those are not for my taste.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Look, I'm all for anything as long as the story takes us there. If the story leads us to a barbed wire match, I mean, I'm all for it. But the hook to that is back in the day, the object of the barbed wire match was to
finish the storyline, to finish it up.
And you spent the whole match trying to keep your opponent from putting you in the barbed wire. Then when it finally happens,
Exactly.
I'm not a big fan of rolling around in barbed wire. I personally not going to do it, but I'll be honest with you. It's like a car crash to me. I'm man, if I catch myself watching it, it's like I'm drawn to it. I can't stop watching it,
Yeah, I've been in a few matches with barbed wire and stuff in my career, but like I said, it was always to finish up a storyline.
Yeah, man, I agree with that. I'm all for doing any kind of gimmick matches whatsoever, as long as it's to further the storyline and there's a reason why we're doing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I just ain't into. I'm not going to be out there just being cut up all over the place. And the bulbs, they're kind of they're almost a magic trick in a way, because most of the time they don't really hurt you, but you do have them like breaking them over your head or something. Most of the time goes off without a hitch. What concerns me more honestly is breathing all that white powder in. And now taking all the bumps in a ring full of a broken glass, I ain't into that, because that little thin ass glass will cut you up.
Oh yeah, it will.
It will. It'll chew you up, man. And
the death matches I've seen, Kilo Green, man, had lots of deep cuts.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Death matches he was in, and him and Damian Rage, y'all like, I'm gonna leave that to y'all guys.
Yeah.
All like, Hood, we need to have a death match. I said, no, we ain't having no death matches. We can have a match, but we ain't gonna be having no death matches.
I ain't doing no thumbtacks either, man.
I can do the thumbtacks and Legos, as long as the pay right.
I'm too old for that shit, man. I'm way too old to be rolling around in thumbtacks, dude. I'll be honest. Look, Big Mike says, "What's up?" Big Mike Gilmore says,
"What's up, Big Mike?"
Says he's the best announcer around, and everybody knows it, man. Swag announcer. I think he announces for Nonstop Wrestling out of Paris. We got a Jacobs back, says, do you like T-Pain? Because I don't. Yeah, I like T-Pain, dude. I think T-Pain's cool, man. Wrestling is what it is, man. I mean, this is his home country up here, so obviously the people love him. They've grown up with him. He's grown up with them. And now when you go to other places like EPW or anywhere out of your territory and you need to try to make a name for yourself, you got to do what you got to do. What you think about that, Hollyhood?
Yeah, you gotta make an impression anywhere where you go. If you don't make an impression, the crowd reaction is not gonna like you. If you've not been in the business as long as I have, or you have, Buster, if people don't know you, they ain't gonna react. So you got to make a statement when you make a debut.
Yeah, that's true. Well, look, Hollyhood, man. Like I said, we just kind of crossed paths a couple years ago, so I don't really know a whole lot about you, how you broke in or anything. Why don't you kind of tell us about Hollyhood, man? I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about. I know you do some YouTube stuff, and I definitely got to hear about Hood Potion, man. But tell us about Hollyhood. Tell us who Hollyhood is. Tell us how Hollyhood got in the game, and just tell us who you are, dude.
All right, I'm gonna give you, man, a little. I ain't gonna give you a long story. Gonna give you the short story. All right, I got into collegiate wrestling in '96 for the school up north. Worked my way up the ranks. My second year, I had made it second in my weight division at 135. Did that, then I moved to Mississippi. And the end of '98 and '99, I got into pro wrestling. The guy who was booking the show, he was a promoter in Holly Springs who would help me bring the guys down. But he knew my grandparents. He knew who my grandfather was. I didn't know who he was, but he knew me. This is how Mississippi is. You know somebody, they know everybody. He was looking for somebody to open up the show. He like, hey, he called me Scruggs. He knew my last name from my grandmother and stuff. He like, you like wrestling? I was like, yeah, I did been in collegiate wrestling. Do you know pro wrestling? I'm like, yeah, I watched it, grew up watching it. He said, do you know your granddaddy used to wrestle back in the day? I was like, huh? He said, yeah, your granddaddy used to wrestle back in the day. I said, no, that's something I didn't know. He said, yeah, he was a big draw back in the day. So, make a long story short, me and one of my classmates had the opening match. I can remember like it was yesterday. Danny B. Good was there, Brickhouse Brown, Soul Taker, Reggie B. Fine, Coco Beware, Sammy Hall. People
Damn.
know about Sammy Hall. Sammy Hall is a legend and a Memphis legend. So
Yeah.
only three of them was my match: Danny B, Soul Taker, and Brickhouse. See, I didn't know how to put a match together, but I just did what I knew was mat wrestling. So
Yeah.
all I did was took down and took my bumps. And Brickhouse came to me like, the match. He's like, the match was pretty decent. How long you been training? He like, I'm like, I haven't trained. He said, what? He said, man, your takedowns and everything. I said, yeah. I said, I was still like, I just moved to Mississippi. I've been doing amateur wrestling. He said, well, you stuck to your basics, what you was trained how to. I said, yeah, not to stay on my back. Take you down and try to get pins and holds.
There you go.
So Sammy Hall, man, he started my training. Him and Danny B and Brickhouse, where it was coming around. So my first match was in '99. In Hollis Springs, they had a place called Cisco 93.
What'd you say, Hollyhood? I missed it.
I said my first professional match was in 1999 at a building called Studio 93 in Hollis Springs, Mississippi.
Okay. Who was your first opponent?
It was my classmate Zach Round. His
Okay.
gimmick name was the Bump Bull.
Okay. Let me ask you something. I didn't realize you had a little bit of collegiate wrestling background. That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
How was it for you? Was pro wrestling something that you'd always loved or always watched and liked? Or if not, how was it to go from like collegiate wrestling to then pro wrestling? Mentally, more
See,
than
I always loved professional wrestling. Like I was always told Andre the Giant was my favorite wrestler. I don't remember that. My daddy always told me like you always walk around like you was Andre the Giant. I was like, really? I was like, yeah, you always used to walk around like you Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan. Because my recollection of my first match was WrestleMania 3. Like everybody always Hulk Hogan picking up Andre.
Yeah.
But I really fell in love with professional wrestling. Well, watching AWA, watching Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig. Those two was my favorite guys in the 80s.
Yeah, man. I was lucky. I lived in a place where obviously we got Memphis wrestling. We got Jerry Lawler. At one point, I got Bill Watts' UWL for a while out of Little Rock, on a Little Rock station. Sometimes we would actually get some world class. If you put your antenna up, moved it around, you could pick up some world class. Obviously, TBS, the Superstation, Georgia Championship Wrestling. So I'm kind of like you in the AWA, man. When they were
because my mother was a big Memphis fan. So when I was a kid, I was always taught about Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee, the Moondogs, Hanson Jimmy. I'm like, who is these guys? Like, she's like, no, my daddy wrestles. You're like, really? I'm like, I didn't pay no attention. Like, yeah, my daddy Bearcat Brown. So my first gimmick was Bearcat Brown Jr. So it's history, my blood.
You know, you told me that, or I heard that somewhere. Somebody I think you may have told me that in a little conversation. I mean, it ain't like me and you've ever sat down and spent an hour or two talking to each other. We've talked in passing. We've had a few good words and stuff. But I think either you told me that or somebody else. But let me ask you something. How was it
Oh,
to?
it might have been on Big H. Keith Haynes.
Train all of the time or something like that.
May have been. How
Yeah.
was it to when you were told that your grandpa was a wrestler and he was a draw? How was that for you, man?
Man, I was amazed because I had to go back and watch old tapes and how he used to work. And people who knew him personally, because when he passed away, I was very, very small, so I really didn't know much till I moved to the South. Well, I met up with Sammy Hall. He showed me a lot of tapes, and another guy. I got his name with the tip of my head. Don Bass, Great Lake Don Bass. God rest his soul, was a good man.
Yeah.
He showed me a lot of videotapes at SPWA about my grandfather. He said,
yeah,
you move just like him, but he was a stiff worker, man. He was a stiff worker.
Yeah,
I asked him, man, how y'all man could take them licks about it? I said, man, how you could take them beaters from him? Because him and Don was real good friends.
Yeah, that's super cool, dude, man, to kind of break into wrestling and then realize that you didn't even know you already had a lineage in the sport, you know. That's super cool, dude. Yeah, man. Look, we got a comment from Eric J. It says, "What's going on, Buster and Hollyhood? Enjoying the show as always, Buster." Thank you, Eric J. Man, I appreciate your support. You're a regular viewer. You support all our stuff. Man, we really appreciate that, dude. He says, Puckett, why don't you like T-Pain? You're tripping. I don't know, man. Every time T-Pain's on, Jacob's always got some words for T-Pain. He's got something to say about him. Hollyhood, can you hear me or did you fall out? All right, y'all. I think Hollyhood's trying to get back in. He fell out for a second. We'll give him a second and see what happens. It's going to be one of them shows, y'all. It is what it is. Hollyhood, if you can hear me, dude, try logging back in. Just same link and try logging back in, man. See what happens. All right, guys, I don't know. Well, Hollyhood pops out, and guess what? Just as soon as we lose him, hey, this dude right here popped in. It's supposed to have been our first guest on the show. How he's going to kick it off? Dude right here is a throwback to old school wrestling. He's tough. He's intense. He's aggressive. And he's got a fucking mean streak a mile long. None other than the former Bluff City Southern heavyweight champion, Bullwhip Ballard.
How you doing, man? You doing all right?
Yes, sir. Bullwhip, I'm glad to have you, man.
Glad to be here.
Dude, man, you've been on a tear lately, man. We kind of talked about a little bit of it before Hollyhood come on. Man, you and Chris Hayes, dude, y'all have been at each other's throats for the last, 6 weeks, maybe even more?
It's been a while. I don't even remember now what night it was I won the belt, but it started in the tournament. They just happened to put Chris in there with me, and then I beat him for the belt. So fast forward, here we are.
Well, let me ask you something now. 2 weeks ago on TV, that's why I said former. 2 weeks ago on TV, Chris Hayes actually got the belt from you, man, but he won the match and is actually the champion, but you put the bullwhip on him, man. You left with the belt, dude. So he's the champion, but you possess the belt, right?
Well, I'll just be quite honest with you. It ain't about belts no more. It's just I think that's what people's glorifying the most is the gold and all that, but I really ain't concerned with the belt. I don't care if it's belt, no belt. I kept it more or less just to prove a point, and I knew what I was doing when I kept the belt. But to me now, it's done got to the point of who's going to take it the farthest. And the thing is I like Chris. Chris is a good dude, but it's got to the point now where and all the people see really is they see me pissed off, and that's the problem is nobody really understands where I'm coming from, because if you roll the cameras back far enough, Chris went out there one day before I ever did anything to him and just straight up bald-faced lied on camera. I got out there and told him that I choked him with a bullwhip, or it was the night I slapped the taste out of his mouth, I believe. I'd have to get on there and look now. But that's what it all got the ball rolling, is Chris and his mouth. That's always been Chris's thing, because I've known Chris Hayes a long time, and that's the biggest thing about him is his mouth. He's got a mouth that overloads his backside and what he can handle, and he's really, really struck a chord with me now.
Yeah, I could. Well, we got Hollyhood back, y'all. Guys, normally I like to give each guest their own allotted time, but you know how it is sometimes with the weather and everything. So, and I didn't realize you two guys had as much history as you do. So, if y'all don't mind, we're just gonna all three get on here and we'll just talk. Is that cool with you guys?
That's fine with me. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Well, look, you are right about that. That's one thing I was going to say to you, Bullwhip. To me, it almost feels like the belt almost don't even matter no more. It's done turned into a personal issue, a highly heated personal issue between you two guys, man. And like you say, y'all have history. Y'all have some sordid history. So,
you see, when I first come into the business, I bought my personal ring. I bought a ring, and I bought it from Chris. I bought it from Chris's brother. So I've known them. My first match was like December 7th or December 13th, 2014. So you do the math. I've been in almost 9 years this December.
9 years.
So I've known Chris and them a long time, and that's just even when I first come in on the scene, he just got a mouth on him, and I don't want to disrespect Bluff City, and I don't mean to come across as arrogant. I said because the belt itself means a lot to me, but between me and Chris Hayes, we're past belts, we're past titles, we're past all that. It's just his mouth.
Yeah, I could tell that. I could tell that it had gone past just wrestling, past just competing. Hollyhood. Now, Hollyhood's the current MIW heavyweight champion, and I know that both of you guys Hollyhood's a mainstay at MIW, but I noticed you've been there too. You got a match coming up with Rocker this Friday at MIW.
Yeah. Chris been giving me a run for my money up there, but we're gonna nip that in the bud pretty soon too.
Well, look, Hollyhood, I know that you got a big match coming up Friday night too. Now you got a tag match, you and the Boogie Boy, Gary Valiant, tagging against Vicious Hyde.
Yeah, Vicious Hyde. This is history. What we do on Friday night with me and Gary Valiant. It usually be the other way around, me versus Gary Valiant, somewhere. But we've been knowing each other for a very long time with this business. This is the first time we actually teaming up together. It's always the other way around.
Well, what brought y'all together, man? I seen a little bit of footage where Vicious Hyde attacked you from behind. I just seen a little clip, man. Kind of fill us in on what actually got us to this tag match.
All right, the past month it's been me and Hyde, Solomon Hyde. The first time we met, we faced off. He had me beat, but my foot was on the road, and Mick Vicious knocked it off. It went down here ever since. Greater Watch switched the decision over. Still maybe MIW heavyweight champion from outside interference. Ever since then, every time I get the upper hand on Solomon Hyde, where it goes, Mick Vicious jump me from behind. So just getting tired of him jumping from behind. He cost me and Steven Styles to become the 6-time MIW tag team champion by interfering.
Okay.
We could have made history again, but Mick Vicious and Solomon Hyde stick your nose in my business again. So I hope Gary Valiant is the equalizer, man, to put the end Vicious Hyde at MIW.
And that's coming this Friday night.
Yeah, this Friday night.
All right, guys, look, we got a comment from Stephanie Jeffries. She says, definitely tripping. I know she's talking about Jacob Puckett dogging on T-Pain. Puckett come back right quick, and he says T-Pain cheats. And then T-Pain himself says, what's up, Buster? What's up, Pain, man? Glad you're watching, dude. I appreciate it, man. Well, look, back to you for a second, Bullwhip. I seen some footage from the AWA here. I want to say a week ago, maybe two. Kilo had just won the AWA heavyweight title from Zach O'Brien, and you hit the ring on him and laid him out, man. What's going on there?
If you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly. And I ain't never really worked in Arkansas but once or twice. So what better way to make a point than to just go after the top guy? I'm not really under a set contract. Nothing like that. I'm not really under a contract with anybody. I work for AWA this past weekend. About a month ago, I was at APW. I like both shows a lot. So I'm not a tag wrestler. First of all, they threw me in that tag match. I'm not a tag wrestler. What they should have done was after I took his head off, they should have thrown him back in the ring, rung the bell. But they wouldn't do that. Of course, they wouldn't going to do that. So we'll see what happens there. I've held several titles, several different shows, but I've never held two titles. And I just thought, this would be a good opportunity. So leveled that one.
Yeah, man, you and Kilo, do y'all have much history between y'all?
Not really much history. I know Kilo well. Yeah, not much history.
He's a well-seasoned veteran, man. He's been around a long time, and
y'all talking about Kilo Seaton?
Kilo Seaton, he just won the AWA heavyweight championship. What was it, last Saturday, Bullwhip?
He was up there Saturday. He won the belt.
Bullwhip, you need some help with Kilo? Me and Kilo got history too.
I don't need no help with Kilo. I hit him one time, and they had to scoop him and tote him out.
Y'all heard it. I know you've been laying people out. Like I said, you and Chris Hayes, man, y'all. I'm wondering how this is going to end up, dude. How it's all going to play out in the end, man.
We'll just see what happens. I've got a couple more ideas, but I'm just going to keep. Chris Hayes can take it to any level he wants to. He's going to get met with the same energy. I don't care who it is. I don't care what he's got going on. I have been gone for a year and a half. I just made my way back to the Mid-South back in February. I come to Bluff City not long after that, and I did not come home to be overlooked.
You made a statement, dude. Everywhere you've been, you've definitely made a statement. I can say that. You came back from when you got back here, dude, you immediately made a statement. Everywhere I've seen you at.
Yeah, I had to leave Texas because it done got to the point down there. I done whooped all their boys down there too.
Well, I want to talk to you about Texas here in just a second. I want to get back to Hollyhood for just a second. I'm sorry how this is working, guys. Usually
You're good. You're fine.
I'm kind of just trying to juggle back and forth between y'all. But I want to talk to Hollyhood about the MIW heavyweight title. Now, I know you've had it a pretty decent time now, man. How long have you actually been the MIW?
Right now, 3.5 months.
3.5 months. Okay.
3.5 months.
I'm assuming you pretty much almost defend that damn thing every Friday night.
Every Friday night, putting the title on the line.
Well, let me ask you something. Who did you win to become the champion? Who'd you beat to become the champion?
It was vacant. I was in a tournament. I had to beat in the finals. I had to face Problem Child, Aaron Robinson. I had to face him in the finals for the titles. I'll tell you about Aaron. That song gun tough.
Yeah, y'all
like two big bulls in that ring.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was fixing to say. Like y'all like two big bulls in a china cabinet, man. I wish I'd have seen that match.
First time collide with him, I give him that man with his credit. He made me work.
Well, look,
He made me work for it.
Like I said, I know you're a mainstay at MIW, but I know you also work. You're a Mississippi guy. You're obviously the Mississippi Kingpin. So tell me about some of the other places you work at, man.
I still travel. Right now, I'm at Bluff City now. I'll be at Bluff City Saturday.
Okay.
So like we work things out. I'm now official on Bluff City roster.
Well, I'm gonna tell both of you guys something. This past Saturday's Bluff City show, I thought was maybe the best show to date. Honestly, just the flow of it. I look, when it first come back on, and I realized it's gonna be 30 minutes. A 30-minute show is sometimes hard to format out because you got such little amount of time, and to try to get your full, at least focus on 2 or 3 things that you can tell your stories with. And I was well pleased, man. I'll be honest with you. It was one of the best shows, maybe the best show in my opinion. I like the thing they did y'all did at the opening with the board thing where they voted Big Lou out as commissioner. They need to do more stuff like that. And promos, Bullwhip. Dude, I'm sitting there watching this fucking promo of yours, man. Dude, to be honest with you, I wish Chris Hayes hadn't have broke in on it because, dude, the look you had, the shirt, everything, man, that was fixing to turn out to, I believe, be one of your best promos ever, dude. I'll just be honest with you. It almost, I hated that Chris Hayes screwed it up, man. I think
I'm not a big talker. I've never been a very good mouthpiece. Me personally, it'd be fine with me if I never touched that microphone. But the deal up at Bluff City is they've got me to a point. I feel like they kind of, we done past the point poking the bear. It's just they keep me so hot up there. I can't help it. They stick a microphone in my face and I just roll with it.
Well, I think you do best when you speak from the heart. I'll be honest with you. When you speak from gut emotions, I felt like Saturday when you started the promo, man, I felt like I believed it. I was into it, dude. I believed everything you were saying. And like I said, I hated that Chris come out and attacked you, man, and screwed it up. I was kind of anxious to see where it was going to lead to, dude.
Well, I promise you, Chris will get his.
And Hollyhood, now I didn't realize you were at Bluff City, but you say you're not an official member of the roster, but you're down there, huh?
Yeah, me and people at the board, we gonna get things worked out. I could be a full member pretty soon.
Well, that'll be
I made
good,
a couple of man stops by just to check things out. It's in the making. Hollywood probably will be pretty soon a member of Bluff City Wrestling. Well, when I make my debut, Bullwhip, hope we don't cross paths. I'm coming for gold.
Come on with it. You do all you want to do. I was going to keep my mouth shut. I wasn't going to comment anything like that, but all right.
Oh, so are we making matches here on Buster Unmasked?
I ain't making nothing, but
we making rivalries.
He knows how I do. Bullwhip, you tell Bullwhip, I help train you in this business.
Mm-hmm.
He
taught you a little something. Didn't teach you everything what I know.
He did tell me that, Bullwhip, while we were waiting on you to get on.
I learned stuff you didn't know either. I'd be willing to bet. That's fine. That's fine. You talk all you want. We'll see what happens when it comes down to it.
Yeah, it comes down to it. Now, you know I can back it up.
Well, look, guys, we're going to have to break it apart a minute. I don't want y'all tying up. It's going to be hard. Y'all in 2 different places, but maybe we'll make that match. Maybe y'all could face off here on Buster Unmasked sometime.
Yeah.
Bullwhip, back to you for a second, dude. Texas, you mentioned Texas, and I know that, like I said, like same thing with Hollyhood. I first met you at EIW, and you were fresh, I guess, out of boot camp at the time.
Yeah, I was coming to. I signed with the military in 2020, June 1st, 2020, and I signed to EIW sometime around that fall. I was there till December. January 4th, I shipped out. You probably met me sometime around August or September 2021.
Yes. Yeah, it sounds about right.
I had lost a lot of weight and stuff, gone to basic training and all that. I just finished up my contract with the Guard.
Hold on, leave them in the dryer just for a minute.
And then we got done with that, and I had an opportunity to move to Texas. And me and my wife and my kids. I had one at the time. Now we've got two.
Just leave
We
whatever's
wanted
in
to
the
do something a
dryer
little bit different for a little while,
in the washer.
and that's how we wound up in Texas. That's the long and short of it, I guess.
Well, now you were at EIW for a little while, and then I missed a show or two. I had to go somewhere else and film. And when I come back, you were just gone. And then
Yeah,
it wasn't but a month later or so I heard that you had moved to Texas, and then I actually seen you on a couple of shows in Texas. Tell us a little bit about your experience in Texas and wrestling in Texas, man.
I guess you could kind of say I shot myself in the foot a little bit when I moved to Texas. Just the area that I picked really wasn't. It ain't like the Mid-South. There was wrestling going on. There just wasn't a lot of it, and everything from where I live was like 3 or 4 hours away from everything. I lived 20 minutes west of Abilene in a little bitty town called Merkel, and then I worked in Sweetwater, and then I got on with a show named Rampage Wrestling out of Lubbock. That was the first show that let me in, and then I had met with Rodney Mack through a mutual friend up here at Middlington Mayhem. And then me and Rodney Mack touched base. He invited me down. Didn't get to really do business with Rodney, but he invited me down, and then he invited me to come work with I was supposed to wrestle with Frank Stone at Teddy Long's. I guess Teddy Long owns it. It's Texas Style Wrestling out of Irving. I went down there. Frank Stone wasn't able to make it, but I wound up getting in the ring with Big Con there. That was all televised. Down there with Teddy Long show, I was rubbing elbows with Nick Aldis was there, Tim Storm. There was a bunch of guys there. Mike Anthony was down there from the OMGs.
Yeah, him and Action Jackson.
Yeah, there was a bunch of guys there. A lot of well-known people was there too.
Yeah. Well, how did you like working in Texas, man?
I'll be honest with you, I loved it. It was not I wasn't on a show that drew under 300 people, but at the same, that's not that many folks. It wasn't like an arena sellout, but at the same time, I wasn't booked on any big shows.
Yeah.
Like I was on all their smaller shows, but it was nice. I was afraid that Texans would not view me very well just because of my look. I thought that I wasn't going to be. I thought,
boy, you feel like you were just at home.
Yeah, I fit in Texas. I felt like I was part of the puzzle, so to speak. I really did. I enjoyed my time down there.
Yeah, I know I seen one match. I want to say I seen maybe two matches of yours, and you got a good reaction from the crowd, man. Really, you fit right in. You fit right in for me watching it, dude.
All the shows. I would assume the matches you saw was with Rampage. Everybody they put in the ring with me in Rampage, I beat. The only person that I did not completely just demolish was Mac the franchise. Mac is a straight up unit. He don't look like much. He comes out in a jersey with some kick pads stuff on. It's not really like the typical style wrestler, but I'm telling you, he is a straight up unit, and he is the champion for a reason. I don't know if he's still got the belt on him right now, but they were getting tired of me whooping all their guys. I'll just be quite honest with you. We had this one fat prick that come out there and hit me with a kendo stick about 4 or 5 times. The whole time I was there, they said that the fat piece of crap was leaving. And then after he got his shots in with a kendo stick, of course, I had to come back to Mississippi. Well, when I reached out for him to get a match, I was going to get the whip involved, but the fat ass backed out on me, and he wouldn't ever take the match. So I never got my whatever words you want to plug in there. I never got it. Because if we're being quite honest, kendo stick, chairs, glass cubes, I don't care what it is. You hit me the way he hit me, everything's all fine and good. But when it comes time for me to get mine, and I will get mine, I'm going to hit you twice as hard, twice as bad, with twice the energy.
That's a hell of a receipt coming, sounds like, dude.
Well, I ain't never going to get it. Because he won't come to Memphis. I put money on that. And if you want to Google him and look him up, that'd be DL Hartley, you fat ass.
Damn. We're getting some heat going on the show. Well, look, Hollyhood, I'm going to go back to you, man. Like I said at the start, you're not just a wrestler. You do some YouTube stuff. You do some interviews, man.
Oh, yeah. Hood TV.
TV.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm going to step out for about 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay, Bullwhip. Tell us, Hollywood. Talk to me a little bit about Hood TV. Tell me about
Hood TV. Yeah, I be throwing stuff here and there. I tore my Achilles tendon a few years back. I was gonna step away from wrestling. So I'm like, man, just do interviews. So that's what I was doing. Like, come up with my own segment. All right, Hood. I like Hood. Like Hood something like Hood TV. Like that. We gonna run with Hood TV. So we're going around doing my interviews. I still do interviews and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some of them, man. I've seen Kevin Nash on there promoting your show, man.
Kevin Nash, Buff Bagwell, Chris Masters, there's a few of the big stars. Santiago Cirillo, Gary Bagger, he was a guest on my episode. Tracy Smothers, Cobra King, Dustin Starr. Yeah, there's been quite a few stars on Hood TV.
That's a good lineup, dude. That's a hell of a lineup for anybody, man. I'm dying to know, man. I see it on Facebook, and I just want to know what it's about, what it is. Hood Potion, man. Talk to us. Tell us what's up with Hood Potion, man.
So Hood Potion is my plan B while I retire from pro wrestling. Is natural fruit juices, natural fruits with juices with 33% of 120 proof moonshine.
Woo! So
gets you good and buzz.
It really is the potion, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's Hood Potion.
Well, let me ask you something. How's it doing for you?
Man, most of my sales right now is in Alabama.
Really?
Alabama, and in Tennessee, Mississippi. It fell off, but it's coming back.
Well, back to Mississippi. Like I said, you're a Mississippi guy. I know. I see you on some OWO shows when they do them.
Yeah.
There's another one in Mississippi, man, that runs.
I was original member of EPW. When EPW was back in the day, I was original member of EPW. Then you had Maximum Championship Wrestling. You had North Delta Championship Wrestling. You had it's another show down in Tunica.
Clarksdale, is it Clarksdale?
Yeah, Clarksdale.
Yeah, man. Clarksdale's actually, I'm originally from Helena, Arkansas. Across the bridge from Tunica.
Yeah, I did shows in Helena, Arkansas with Reaper and them.
Okay.
When Reaper started running the show, Reaper, I was one of the first guys is actually when they first did their first few shows. Till they started building up their own roster.
Yeah. That is that what's now known as APW now?
APW.
Yeah, Bullwhip mentioned APW. APW is I've never been to one of their shows live, but they seem to have good shows. They seem to draw good everywhere they go. So the dude who owns it, man, seems to have a pretty good grasp on what he's doing, man. Like I said, they run some pretty successful shows.
I've been checking them out because one of my guys, Geo Savage, he one of the main players on there, so he's there. My group, the Mid-South Assassins, they spread out everywhere.
Okay, the Mid-South Assassins. Now, all right, I was going to ask Bullwhip about this. Saturday, he's got a triple threat match. Him, Chris Hayes, and there's a guy that's got a shirt that says the Mid-South Assassin on it. Is that your partner?
Yeah, that's my cousin, the Midnight Rooster.
Midnight Rooster, okay.
Rooster been in the business a long time. He grew up in the business.
Okay, I've seen He just recently debuted for Bluff City. What, a month and a half or two ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen you with one of them Mid-South Assassin shirts on somewhere. I don't
Yo,
know
at
what.
901.
Because you also did a few shows for SPW in Brownsville when they first opened.
Yeah.
The first couple of shows.
Yeah, I had my Mid-South Assassin shirt on, yeah.
Well, look, man, let's just talk wrestling, dude. What you going for the next? I mean, obviously you're shooting to get on the Bluff City roster. Once that happens, man, what's your goal at Bluff City, dude?
My goal in Blood City is to become the heavyweight champion. Everywhere I go, my first goal is to become heavyweight champion. Second is become tag team champion. Me and my brothers, the Midnight Rooster, TIP, or Geo Savage. We team it up, we gonna take some gold. If not, I always got a plan B in my tag team division with Steven Styles, Hood Styles.
I see Hood Styles. I seen y'all were tagging for a good while before you
Yeah,
actually
for a year.
before you won the heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah,
got
he
Bull.
currently is the cruiserweight champion in MIW. So we might lean back up, try to take all the gold in MIW.
I hear you gonna have a heavy ass bag, dude.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. Well, look, Bullwhip's back with us. Now, you said that your goal at Bluff City is to, anywhere you go, basically, is to be the heavyweight champion.
Yeah, it's a goal.
Bullwhip's already been the Southern heavyweight champion for Bluff City, and I'm sure, especially now since Johnny Dotson has kind of been forced to flip to the other side, Bullwhip, I feel like you're gonna be shooting for that Bluff City heavyweight title too somewhere down the line, right?
I definitely do see it in the works. Right now, I'm pretty preoccupied. It don't really look like I can move on to anything else until me and Chris squash whatever it is he's got going on with me. I don't know. I've never really just see the Southern heavyweight title just really stood out to me just because of the fact that it was the Southern heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Just a lot of sentimental value for me. My granddad always aspired to have that one belt and just never did get it. So I just, as soon as I heard that there was going to be a title brought back and I found out it was that one, I was all on it. Now, as far as the Bluff City World title goes, we'll just have to see what's coming. I got a lot going on. Bluff City's really, really crazy right now with the power struggle and all that going on. So we just got to see what happens. But I wouldn't think that it's impossible. I don't think that's something that would be impossible to see pretty soon.
So you two guys are basically y'all are on a collision course eventually because both of y'all want the titles, whether it's the Southern title, whether it's the heavyweight title. So I mean, we could be predicting the future right here. Hollyhood versus Bullwhip Ballard, man.
Yeah, I think we never crossed paths since he turned pro. I think me and Boo would never cross paths. I think so. Yeah, but he learned a lot since then.
We were in a tag match when I was about 17.
Yeah.
The tag match took place down there at the Agri Center in Boonville. It was me and Danny Dollar and Buff Bagwell against.
Yeah, it was 6-man tag. Yeah.
So
but other than that, that's about the only time we've ever butted heads in the ring.
Well, that could change in the future. Look, I'm glad you said something, Bullwhip, and I don't want to put either one of you guys on the spot, but it's something that I thought about. I said something about a week or two ago. Okay, you called the Bluff City title the Bluff City World Heavyweight title. Let me just ask both of you guys just a straight up question. What do you guys think about world titles? What do you think the criteria is to have world title status, to be able to claim world title status?
I am not a cookie cutter wrestler. I do not wrestle like your typical wrestler. I do not look like your typical wrestler. I know people try to draw some kind of comparison because I wear the single arm strap like Lawler did, and stuff like that. I don't claim to be a I wrestle, but I don't claim to be a wrestler because when you say, "Well, I'm a wrestler," people's got this image in their head of what wrestling is, and I don't feel like I am your picture champion. You know what I mean? Like I said, the Southern Heavyweight title has sentimental value. That's the reason why I was interested in pursuing that. But as far as criteria, I wouldn't say that I meet any criteria as far as like your typical world champion. I don't meet that criteria. I'm probably a little bit more overweight than some of the other guys and stuff like that. But if the option arised, I'm getting it.
No, but that's not quite what I meant, dude. What I really meant was, do you think that a title can be called a world title if it's only defended in one company? A lot of times, just one state. Never leaves its territory or never leaves the country. Do you think it can be a legitimate world title, or do you think it would be better served as being just the Bluff City heavyweight title, or any? It's not even.
Like, that's how the way I was trained in the business. If you don't travel to defend your heavyweight title, you just the heavyweight champion of that company.
Look, I'm not.
That's just my opinion, and how the way I was trained.
I'll second that. But if we're just being honest, look around. Is there any shows in the Mid-South where a champion travels outside that company?
No, I agree.
I have turned shows down because they would not let me bring my title.
But shit, Dre, it was good to see you. One of these days we'll
plain and simple. If I accept the show, if I accept the invite to come to the show, I'm coming as the Southern Heavyweight Champion, or I'm not coming.
Nobody
I hear you. See, that harkens back to old school mentality. You got to be who you are everywhere you go.
No problem.
You see a lot of shows now where guys flip flop back and forth. They'll be a bad guy at one show and go 30 miles up the road and be a good guy. When back in the day, if you were a bad guy, you were a bad guy. If you were a good guy, you were a good guy wherever you went. Unless you totally went out of your territory and went to another territory.
I ain't gonna take
me, whether the crowd loves me or whether the crowd hates me. If you look on the TV and I'm on Bluff City Wrestling this Saturday morning, and then you Google me on YouTube and I'm on some kind of YouTube live in West Texas or somewhere up near Nashville, I'm gonna be the exact same person.
I hear you. I like that, dude.
I'm gonna be the exact same person. You're gonna get what you get every time. If you like me, you like me. That's all fine and good. If you don't like me, piss on you. I don't care.
Yeah,
I love being babyface. Heel is easy to work, but I love people cheer for me. Being a babyface, I can sell merchandise. I love money, but I also love pissing people off too.
Yeah, I think heel's always the most fun. But for me personally, I always thought babyface was the easiest. I'm a natural heel, but to me, a babyface, man, you really don't got to do shit. Walk out there. Be humble. If somebody wants to touch your hands, touch some hands, get in the ring, handle your business, don't cheat. I always felt like babyface was so simple. Now, what I like to be is heel. That's the most fun for sure. I think everybody would say that. Being a heel is more fun than being a babyface,
Yeah, my last run as being a heel, but the crowd would constantly cheer me. It would nothing I couldn't do. And I was still getting cheered as a heel. I said, the only thing I didn't do was kick a baby. If I would kick a baby, I would have been the most hated guy in North Mississippi and Tennessee. But I could cheat, punch, man. I could do anything. He didn't do nothing. I'm trying to I didn't do nothing.
When I first met Bullwhip, when you first came back, you was actually a babyface at EIW. Yeah. Big time babyface, man. And that's all. That's the only Bullwhip I had seen or known until you come back from Texas, and man, it seems like since you come back from Texas, your demeanor kind of changed.
And ain't nothing going back. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Ain't nothing else changing.
So
Up till
He get the mean streak in him.
up
That's
till
why I
I
like
went
to see him.
Texas, Up till I went to Texas, me personally, I did not feel like I was somebody that you would pay to come see again. I just didn't
Yeah,
feel.
Texas, they make you a
I felt
whooping
like I
boy.
was doing something. I felt like I was doing something, but I didn't feel accomplished. Then when we got to Texas, we got to experiment a little bit, so to speak. And the aggression was there. It's been there the whole time. I just never was able to use it. And when I figured out, hey, I can do this, the aggression's staying.
yeah, I could tell immediately that when you came back, your confidence was different. Look, you were always aggressive from the first time I seen you, even as a good guy. You were aggressive. You were intense and you were aggressive, but when you came back from Texas, there was the confidence was there. You had the confidence yourself. You could tell that you believed more in Bullwhip Ballard than you did before.
Well, it's just one of them things. Ever since I got into this business, everybody's always dick with me and told me I couldn't do this or I shouldn't do that or I needed to go here and do this or I didn't need to go over here and do that. So when I got to Texas, it was a whole new ball field. Whole new ball field. It was a culture shock. When I got down there and seen the way those guys handled themselves and seen the way they run their shows, it was like, I just kind of looked around the locker room. I thought it was some kind of make-believe rib or something like that. Because I was like, there's no way. Just because it was so far from what I was accustomed to in the locker room, outside the locker room, in front of the people, the reception of the fans. I was like, this has got to be. It feels like a dream because it can't be real. So when I got down there, I just tried to get out of the box, do something a little bit different, tried to be a little bit more aggressive, and the crowd really liked it. Now, some of the wrestlers didn't like it, and I don't give a damn if they liked it or if they don't. They can hang it up because the fans told me what they liked. The fella that owned the show told me what he liked. I got the feedback, and that's all I needed.
Well, I know you always work snug. Like I said, even as a babyface, your work was always snug. But Hollyhood, how do you prefer to work? Do you prefer to work snug, or do you like light as a feather?
I like to be worked light. I was always told to work light. Folks that I was stiff, so man, every chance I was working with Ricky and Robert, you work too stiff. You need to work light. Same thing with Tracy, and yeah, you work too stiff. So I got to use the working light.
You learn what you can and can't do by who you in there with.
Yeah, if he want to work stiff, I work stiff. If they want to work light, I work light.
And you may come across to the wrong people the wrong way, and you don't want to do that. So you have to pick and choose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you on
that.
Oh yeah. Oh, you like Bill? You had to work with Bill. You had to work stiff.
Yeah.
Then he'll lighten up.
We get in there this week. If I'm going to wrestle Joe Blow from down in Kossuth area, and we get in there this week, I ain't really going to know what he is capable of and what I'm capable of until we get in there this weekend. Now, next weekend, I'm going to cash in. I'm
cashing in soon. 3 minutes. If you don't want to lighten up, oh yeah, I'm getting that ass.
Well, no, it ain't so much that. It's just finding out who's comfortable with what.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of guys, there are guys out there that really love to work snug. Snug, really snug. They like a little bit of impact. They like to lay it in. They like it to look good. Other guys light as a feather. But here, to me, that's where kind of the art of pro wrestling comes in. Bret Hart made a comment one time. He said, the art of professional wrestling is being able to kick a man in the face full blast and not really hurt him, but kick him in the face full blast. And to me, that's kind of the art of pro wrestling. Is you can be snug, but you don't want to hurt each other. but you got to make it look good. I mean, it's as simple as that. You know, you can lay it in.
Story goes, when my granddaddy broke in, he said Eddie Marlin told him, he said, when you get home this afternoon, go out in the front yard, pick you out the biggest oak tree you can find. He said, I want you to draw back as hard as you draw back, and I want you to haul off and hit that tree. And when you figure out how to hit that tree without breaking your hand, come back and see me.
There you go.
That was what I always heard. He said, if you can't draw back with everything you got and swing and punch that oak tree without breaking your hand, then you can't do it.
Hey, that's
I've been in a lot of stiff workers, but they really don't faze me. Depends who they all is. Yeah. The stiffest worker I ever work, shit, they don't really get now. I can say that's light. David Cox. Everyone say how stiff is it? To me, that's light working now. Because I worked David so many times. That's light to me.
I think too, David's aged a lot too. I know David from when I started, and that's been 10 years ago, and he was already a lot older. I think Derek King said one time, you've got a magic bump number.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. When you hit that motherfucker, most of the time you don't even really know it. You pass it by, and then you realize later on in life that you passed that fucking number by a while back, man.
Yeah. You get that number, you're done.
And the lightest worker I ever worked was Big Daddy B, King Mabel. For him to be that big, he was the lightest person I ever worked.
Love King Mabel, man. I actually got to challenge King Mabel in 1995 in a little town in Arkansas. I don't even remember where. He was fresh out of the WWF. He had just won the King of the Ring belt. And in some little podunk town in Arkansas, I got to go out and challenge him for that King of the Ring title. Now, needless to say, when the match was over, I was looking up at the lights, but man, cool experience. And that was the first time I ever met Mabel. And man, dude, he's one of the best dudes I'd ever met in the business. Cool as hell.
I heard a lot of bad stories. I said, once you know him, man was really, down to earth. And I had to be the honor to work one of his last matches. He had came on the Clarksdale back in 2011, right before he passed away. And I had the chance to work him one more time.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude, man. One of my favorite guys in the whole wrestling business. Absolutely one of my favorite dudes. I love King Mabel, man. He truthfully don't really get the credit he deserves for being. That fucking dude was a giant.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm a big guy, and when I was younger, I was bigger, more in shape. But man, when you stand up next to Mabel,
you felt like a kid.
Yes, man. You're like, damn, this fucking dude is huge and could work his ass off too. I mean, truthfully, he could work his ass off. Loved working with Mabel.
Man, for the man to be that big and agile, the thing was so scary. It was the spinning back kick he always did. Because it stood like a 22 size E boot. And that was one thing I see that big foot come, boy, man. I almost thought I should have brick in my pants. But him walking across my back didn't hurt as bad. I barely felt him walking across my back. He was like he had just got under 400 pounds. He had got real light.
Yeah, that's light for Mabel. Good dude, though, man. Well, look, guys, we got a few more minutes before we got to start wrapping it up. I want to ask both of y'all a couple of questions. First one, and this is for both of y'all. If you could wrestle one person, who's your dream person that you always wanted to wrestle or want to wrestle? Either one of you. Bullwhip, just go first, man.
Shoot, let Hood go first. I got to think about that for a minute.
Okay.
All right, my dream match, dead or alive?
It don't matter. Your dream match, dude.
My dream match is Booker T.
Booker T's a fucking.
Because my style is similar to Booker T mixed with Mark Henry, the big powerhouse mixed with a little athletic.
I know what everybody's gonna say. I feel like I missed out on a lot because I was born a couple generations really past my time, more than likely. But everybody says it, and I probably got a lot of flack for it. But I would love to do something with Lawler. Lawler don't know nothing about me. He don't know. I ain't a glitter in his eye. But it would be something to say that I had, got to do a show or a match or something with Lawler.
Hey, he's the easiest guy in the world you'll ever work, man.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to work Lawler, work Brian, Dundee, like the Memphis guys, the older guys. Like I had the opportunities to work them guys.
Yeah, I miss the Moondogs too. I like watching them so much. Spot and Cujo to me was my two favorite ones.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that last week.
Yeah, I wish I could have just seen them. We just seen them together in action one time.
I'm a Spot and Rex dude. Randy Cully, Larry and Randy. To me, they're my original Moondogs. I actually, little kid, I want to say I was 9 years old, maybe fixing to be 10. The match you see of the Moondogs and the Fabulous Ones were the 2x4s and all that. And the same night, Lawler and Bill Dundee did the Loser Leave Town. And man, I was a little kid. We were running late, and when we got to the Coliseum, man, traffic was all the way back past the McDonald's. I don't know if y'all know where the McDonald's is in relation to Liberty Land and the Coliseum, but you're not even you're still out on the highway. Yeah. Traffic was fucking stand still only. It took us almost 2 hours to get in there. The show had already started. Me and my cousin, my brother, and my sister-in-law let us out. And we're little kids. He's a little older than me. He's probably 14. Like I said, I'm 10. They let us out and go on in. So the Coliseum is fucking jam-packed to the rafters, standing room. We're walking everywhere. There's no seats. We go all the way up to the very top of the Coliseum. And there's a dude sitting in. There's 2 seats on either side of him, and he's sitting right in the middle smoking a joint. So we sat on either side of him, man. All we saw was the Moondog Fabs match and Lawler Dundee. The rest of the show was overtime. We got in. But, man, all those fucking guys. Larry, I spent 10 years working with Larry in Osceola. Larry, I learned more from Larry than probably anybody else in the wrestling business of how this business really works. Moondog's awesome dudes. Jerry Lawler, like I was gonna say, dude, he's almost like magic in there. You can get in there with Lawler, and it's almost second nature to him, which I guess it is second nature to him. I mean, he can be in the ring, and it's like he might as well be drinking coffee. He's just going through the motions and having the match, and it's smooth. And basically, if you ever got to work Lawler, just listen to Lawler, and you're gonna have a killer match, dude.
Yeah,
killer match. And Booker T, man. Booker T I think Booker T could probably still have a good run in him.
Yeah, he still could. He's still in great shape. Yeah. For a man who's 54 years old, don't look like it.
Yeah, Booker T's a badass too in real life. Booker T's one of the guys that you don't want to fool with, man. You don't want to try, but you don't want to be a regular dude want to jump on a wrestler. Booker T ain't the wrestler you want to jump on.
As Dave Bautista.
There you go, man. There you go. Well, look, guys, I appreciate both of y'all coming on. I'm sorry that the show kind of worked out like it did. I didn't even think this morning that we was going to actually have a show. I was waiting around to see if I was going to have to hit y'all up and try to reschedule. Like I said, the weather's been so damn bad. I don't know how it's been where y'all are, but it's been atrocious up here in West Tennessee.
All right, now it's clear right now. We've been getting rain here. Bullwhip don't stay too far from me, so it's clear here right now. But it's like to go rain later on tonight.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, if y'all get to talk too much shit to each other, y'all might actually end up at each other's house in a real fight, huh?
We'll go down to these bars. I'm not breaking nothing at my house. We'll get on one of these bars and we'll have it.
I hear y'all. Guys, like I said, I appreciate y'all so much. Somewhere down the line, I want to get y'all back. It may be on separate shows where we can give y'all your whole time like I like to do. I like to give the guys their whole devoted time to them to tell their story, say what they want to say. But you know how it is. Anytime you do something live, you just got to roll with the punches and make it happen, man.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Before we sign off, y'all go over at the Hood Potion page. Yes. Y'all need to get y'all bought a Hood Potion. I got a new DVD coming out called Hood Respect 2, coming in a few weeks in August. That will tell you my story about wrestling and the music business. because a lot of people didn't know I've been in the music business over 20 years too. So there's a lot of history going on with me.
Well, look, Hollyhood, tell these folks, if anybody wants to book you out there, tell them how they can get a hold of you, man.
You can get a hold of me for Life Hollyhood on Facebook.com. For Life Hollyhood.
And you can catch
Facebook.com.
You can catch Hollyhood every Friday night at MIW. This Friday night, Hollyhood and the Boogie Boy Gary Valiant taking on Solomon Hyde.
And Mick Vicious.
And Mick Vicious. There you go. Vicious Hyde. Hollyhood, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you
you're
so
more than
much
welcome.
for coming on, dude. You have a good night.
You too.
Bullwhip.
Yes, sir.
Same thing with you, man. Let's promote something. If you got some social media or something, some way these promoters can get a hold of you to book you if they want to, tell these people, man.
I'm not, like I said before, I'm not your typical wrestler. I don't really got a lot of social media stuff. You message me on Facebook, you can reach out to Bluff City, or go to Walker Hayes. You holler at Walker Hayes, he'll call me up. We're trying to get on New South. New South is the goal. I see New South. I like New South. I'm not really ready to go there yet because I don't have a resume ready, and I need to get some more stuff done. But New South is next big plan. That's what I want to do next.
Man, New South, I seen them in 2 months ago, them in Premier Pro in Dyer, Tennessee had a company versus company show, man. It's an awesome show. You'd fit in at either one of those companies, man.
Yeah, I would like to go down there this weekend and see the I think it's called, I forgot what it's called. I think it's the Stagecoach. Something Stage. But it's that big fight they're having with the two females. I'd like to go see that. That'd be good.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I've not been to a New South show yet. My buddy Walker told me about it. I want to say I reached out to him already, but I hadn't heard nothing back. But it's just a matter of time till I show up there. I'm gonna go down there and talk to him in person if I have to. But that's the next big plan. New South is what I'd like to do next.
Hey, there you go. And you know how that's how it is. Sometimes you just gotta walk in the door, man.
Yeah, that's how I got on in Texas. I just showed up. I found a poster that was close and went.
I think it was good for you, dude. I do. Like I said, I seen the difference in you personally, the confidence in the ring, everything you did when you came back from Texas. Then before, you was always, like I said, you was always solid. Work was always good. You always had good intensity. But I felt like, man, ever since you came back from Texas, there's something different about Bullwhip Ballard.
You know, I didn't. This is just my opinion. I'm not trying to sound conceited. This is just the way I view my run in this as a whole. I don't really feel like, which I started wrestling in 2014, but I don't really feel like I got good until about 3 or 4 years ago.
Man, it takes roughly, most old veterans will tell you, it takes 10 years in the wrestling business for the light bulb to really click off for you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the big thing. There's people who are amazing in the ring and stuff, but until the light bulb clicks for you and you really realize what wrestling's really about, that's when you get dangerous. If you're already good and then that light bulb clicks. Now, some guys, the light bulb never clicks for them, but the ones that it does, man, once that light bulb clicks, then the confidence comes and you know what you're capable of, man. Now, this Friday night, you're at MIW too, and you're facing
Chris Rocker gonna get it on.
Chris Rocker. Now, have y'all faced each other before?
This will be about our 3rd time in the ring together.
Okay. How long's it been since y'all faced each other?
Last Friday night, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Last week didn't go in my favor, but we're gonna see if we can't turn it around this week.
Hey, Chris is one of the top guys around the territory, and he's been that way for 30 years. I mean, really, he's definitely been one of the top guys for the past 20 years, 25. Tough guy. He's been a multiple-time heavyweight champion across multiple companies. That's going to be a hell of a match, dude.
Yeah, me and Chris, we don't really have any like real animosity or anything like that. I don't really know Chris. I've known him a while, but I don't know him that well. Just more or less of, we're going to be in there, we're going to be doing our thing, but at the same time, I might learn something. A thing or two, you never know.
Yeah, man. Hey, Chris is a grizzled veteran, man. He was born into this shit. He's raised into it. It's all he's ever known. It's going to be a hell of a challenge, dude.
Yeah.
I wish you luck, man. Bullwhip, like I said, thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate you for giving us some of your time, and I'll get you back on, dude, when we can give you your allotted time by yourself, because I like it better that way, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
I got a ton more I really wanted to talk to both of you guys about, just the way we had to do it. Bullwhip, take care of yourself. Good luck this Friday and Saturday. And, man, have a good night.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right, y'all, there it is. Buster Unmasked, episode 26. We actually pulled it off, man. Didn't think we'd even have a show when I woke up this morning, but hey, here we are. We did it, man. Y'all know what to do, man. Go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube. Like, share, and most of all, subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. It helps out a whole bunch. I appreciate every one of you guys who watch this or any of our content and support us. It means so much to me. We're growing slow, but we are growing slow and steady, and that's fine with me. I appreciate everybody's support. Y'all know how this has got to end. Y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to get the hell out of here. Peace. We're out.